Okay, I want to go over why it's so important to exercise a valve in winterizing, not just taking the valve and closing it. Okay, to understand this is how the valve is created. So I've got a used valve, I've taped the end where it's going to hold the water, and we're going to fill this up with water so you can see it. Okay, I want to fill this valve so you can understand where all this water's at. Okay, you've got a tank full of water or the plumbing's full of water. So we're filling up our water. Now, let's point something out. You don't see it unless I remove this seal. See the water on the outside edge of this valve? That's an area to freeze. Also, there's water in the center of this valve. There. So we're going to close the valve. Now, here's the important thing. The water's on the outside. Also, there's water in the center of this valve. Remember we closed this right here? There's water trapped in the center of this valve and on the outside edge of this valve. So it's going to freeze here. You got it closed, but you got this water trapped in this housing around this valve. Now, we're going to winterize this pump. So what do? We shut the valves off. You know, the valves are off. It's called exercise your valve. So the valve's off. We drain it out. Okay, I'm going to poke a hole in the tape. Now, let's open this valve and look at it. See the water? It's still in this valve. Even in the center, remember this hole's here. This is plumb full of water here. I'm going to set this valve on a plate so you can see how much water is trapped in this valve. Now, I'm going to open it. Look how much water is in that plate. Notice the water, it's still in this valve, right on the outside edge. Now I'm going to drain it. See, I opened and closed it. Now the water is not in here. Here's how much water was on the outside of that valve. That will freeze and bust that valve.